Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market end of the day market video, and this is for Monday, September 11th, 2023. It's sad when I say that, 20 some odd years ago, where were you? 22 years ago, I remember sitting at my desk and watching TV, and all of a sudden news break came on, and I see a plane hit the World Trade Center. I thought it was a small plane at first, by the way, and I said, whoa, that's one crazy pilot. I was at that point, let me see, I was flying at that point. I know it. I was going to the airport all the time. I'd take a lunch break. The airport wasn't far away, by the way. It was 40 minutes, and I'd take a 2-hour lunch. I'd go fly, come back to the office. So it sounds crazy, but that's what I was doing. Not every day. I do it on Friday afternoons when I could take off the time, things like that. And wow. Then the second plane, and of course, the tragedy that we all know. Very, very sad, exceptionally sad. We probably, a lot of you know people. I certainly had a friend that went, and a lot of acquaintances. There's difference between friends and acquaintances. Definitely lost both in that because New York was important to commodities, and my quote vendor people were there. The guy would be in Chicago in my office regularly for years at that point. And been doing this forever, so you can imagine. All right, enough of that. Suffice to say, an event in all our life, and then all the people that died afterwards due to lung cancer, all those things. Terrible. All right, let's get to positive. This coming Thursday, my What's Up app. So you get to ask questions of me. This is now your season where we go again. I do these in the fall and winter, every couple of weeks or every third week, and you get to ask me about charting questions. We bring up what you want. It could be stocks, options, futures, all through there, ETFs, everything there. I open it at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. I start promptly at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, and I end promptly at 20 minutes later. All right, so it's very short. You do not get to see a recording of it. You either attend or you miss this thing. How do you get into it? Move your cursor to the top here. You'll see an icon. Give it a click. That's how you can get in. That's one way. The other is I send out an invite. I'll send out another group in the morning to everybody. So please, if you're interested, this is the way you want to do it, and let's take advantage of that, okay? And I will send out tomorrow. I don't think I sent one out today at all. So let's go back to the markets. Tomorrow's the big day for Apple. So instead of me covering something else, I'm going to go with you to Apple. That's what we're going to cover in the market. And we'll cover this tonight. We know that we're going to get their numbers tomorrow, and that's going to be the fun of it. And I'll be covering it all week long to see what goes on. They made a surprise move today. Instead of them going with their own chip, they signed a 3-year deal with Qualcomm. So they're going to stay with the Qualcomm chip. That's not as profitable as having your own chip. I mean, any way you do it. But if they signed the 3-year deal, they're not ready. And it's that simple. They realize they're not ready, and they're better off staying where they're at with it. We'll see what the pricing comes out with the new features. There's been so many leaks already. I don't think there'll be any surprises to anybody. We'll see what it is, the new titanium case and all the new, now they have to become compliant with the new types of cord, that lightning cord, which I always hated. It'll be gone. I'd lose it. I swear to you, I think I lost the cord. It would take me 2 weeks. It'd be gone. Now we get common chargers. That is so much better and puts the phone much more usable. This is a weekly bar chart. That's all. Well, you can see how the market is stalled out right here. When we come to the daily charts on the swing lines, you have higher lows and a higher high. Okay. The market's fighting a battle back up to, the word is back up to, the 100-day average in green, the 18. So the bias is down since the market is underneath 180.62, and the swing line is up, so you've gotten into a neutral position going into tomorrow's event. When we take a look at Bollinger Bands, you're far away from them. When we take a look at momentum, you have corrected being overbought. You're not oversold. You're very neutral in this going into the report. Rivian's been getting a lot of comments. People saying, have you noticed that Rivian's going up? They've got a pretty neat thing with Amazon, and their truck looks pretty good. We can see here that both numbers were over 80. They were over 80 the day before, which was Friday, and they were over 80 the day before that. So they're fully embedded now. That was as of today. So my guess is on the pullbacks, the pros are going to buy the market. They'll toss once the red line closes under 79. Until then, they'll try to buy the market, looking to see if prices can get up to the upper Bollinger Band. In the gasoline fund, gasoline took off to the upside. This is taking off. However, you are overbought. You're over the Bollinger Band. How often do you stay over the Bollinger Band? 5% of the time. Is this a high-risk buy that the market's going to keep going? Well, it's not something I would teach that my clients should be doing. I believe this is where you take money off the table. Could it go higher? Of course it could go higher. You will get events. I'm even looking, I don't even find one, where the market tries like it did here, but it generally pulls back. This market has a good history of staying in those bands. I'll let somebody else want to own it. It's all about probabilities. When I look at XLF, the financial services, this is bullish. Higher lows, higher highs, not overbought. Target the upper Bollinger Band. I think the pros will buy until you take out 34.13 on the downside. I expect them to buy, but I don't think they'll buy the Bollinger Band. In XLI, no trend. Higher high, lower low. Coming into major support here of a combination of the 100-day average and the lower Bollinger Band. Disney signed a deal with Charter, so tonight football's back on. I can't imagine this. Disney played it right, Charter played it wrong. It's really simple. Disney wasn't going to give in. Then you don't get to sports. And Charter, you're going to lose how many subscribers because they're going to look for ways to get to sports. How do I know? My son called me from California going, I got to find a way to do something. And now he can get back to what he's got. I guess he has Charter. I don't even know. You got the lower low, higher high. Market here fighting its battle. No trend, but out of the downtrend and lost the embedded reading. When you lose it, the goal is to get to the 18-day average. Did it just like that. I like when it doesn't. You get an edge in the market. RSPD, if this market takes out the low here of this number, be careful, and that number would be 43.93. Could give you lower highs, lower lows. You'd get a bearish crossover probably where the 18-day average gets under the 100, and that opens the door for an immediate drop to 43.48 to 43.19. So I'll be watching that very closely. XHB, why do I want to do anything this week in it? Let me explain. CPI, PPI, what's going to determine what interest rates are going to do to a degree from the Fed's perspective? I know what's already going on with the U.S. Treasury soaking up all the money, but you've got to deal with that. So please be a bit cautious. The trend is up, though. It's higher lows, higher highs. Momentum had corrected. It's neutral until this market takes out 80.73. Who's in control? The bulls. Possible target, upper Bollinger Band. XLE, how often do I tell you, you don't buy the Bollinger Band? You hear me say it to you over and over. Well, here you go. And the way this market settled, you lost the embedded reading. You're at a 78.65. Did it embed ever? Let's not count today. We know that wasn't embedded. Both numbers were over 80. Day before, they were over 80. Did it embed? What do you think? I don't think so. And it didn't. Just an overbought market that finally is giving you a correction. It does not have to go down here the way you would if you lost the embedded reading. In GLD, big battleground right through here. Now, what the dollar does with CPI and PPI is going to have great impact on this. If this market gets under 177.70 and closes under that, you open the door up very quickly for 174.62. The pros are nibbling, I think, in this whole area from the 18-day average up here, trying to see if they can get it up there. Too dangerous for me. SLV, acting like a market that is sold out. Not even trying to embed, oversold, and suddenly the volume, well, not even volume, volatility is the right word. It's come out. You don't have those big moves, very narrow ranges. I don't see anything I like in that. Copper, I think this is a sucker rally. I think you're coming back for the 200-day average, the 100 and the Bollinger Band. It's not a sucker rally if China did something big, but I've not heard anything that they've done to do that. In TLT, the trend is down, as you can see. I'd be careful. You might be wanting to go to 92.23. In UUP, the dollar's up, but how do you trade this in front of the PPI, CPI, the European Central Bank announcement, the UAW announcement, okay? I mean, that's pretty darn hard, but I'm bullish until the red line closes under 79, and I think that that's how the pros are trading it. They're bearish on FXE. This is a bear market rally until the red line closes over 21, so they're flip-flops of each other. Want to remind you one last time here, to get into the webinar, it's really simple. Move your cursor up here, now. Fill out the form now. When you get back from us the email, it'll either be in your regular email or your junk. You'll have the password, the link to click. I open at 12:15 p.m. Central Time Thursday. We'll start at 12:20. Send me your questions on stocks, ETFs way ahead of time. Help me so I can create the charts and whip through them like that. We can cover a lot of ground in 20 minutes, but not if I have to put on window envelopes and all the studies on the charts. I'm not going to give you the full charts if I answer the questions that you don't give me ahead of time. Just not going to work out well. Future's not a problem because I got all the charts done. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good night. I'll see you the first thing in the morning.